Very basic modeling. So we create an object, and if we have one object or a couple of objects, we can select them and we can do many things with them, but we cannot change the objects themselves. So in Maya there is something called like I don't know how it's actually called, but like actually maybe it's written. No. Oh yeah, it's object mode. So right now we are in object mode. We manipulate objects. And if we want to manipulate one specific object, we have to right-click on selected object, and you see we can change to vertex, edge, face, or multi, or something else. But for now we'll go with vertex. And first of all, let's pay attention that if I right-click and hold my mouse button, I can drag to something, and you see that I can, let's say if I go to UV, there are even further some options, or I go back. So this is something that you would need to kind of learn in Maya, how to do those things very fastly. You see, I went to vertex editing mode. Now I'm in edge editing mode. So I can very quickly, just by doing this, change what I'm doing. So we will try to make it very fast later on. So you will see vertex. For now, let's go to vertex, edge, and face. So we'll start with vertex mode, and basically our objects that we can select are those points here in space, these vertices here. We can again do the same things as with objects. We can select a couple of them, move them. We can also rotate them. We cannot rotate one vertex, and maybe in theory we could not rotate points, but it's actually the same as like moving the points around the center point, so it's convenient. Again, the scale, we cannot scale, make it bigger or smaller, the point, because it's just a point, but if we select a couple of them, it's like moving them together or separating them. So the scale and rotation works well with points when you have a couple of them selected. Then we have edges, and we can do the same manipulation with edges. Again, I cannot scale my I cannot kind of make bigger that in this axis, in y-axis, at least if it's straight. It should not, I cannot change anything, but if I scale it in this axis, you see it's bigger, proportionally bigger, and so on. And of course I can shift select many things and do those things with edges. The same goes for faces. So face is this. Again, proportionally, one side, other side, or axis, not side. And again, I can select a couple of them and move them or rotate them, and so on. But sooner or later you'll see that it's not enough of this. In order to model something, you need more segments, so you need to somehow divide it. And one of the ways of doing it would be shift click, and you see we have a different menu compared to just right click. So shift click, and we have multicut tool. So multicut tool is dividing existing geometry. I clicked, hit enter, and now it's an edge. Be careful, you don't want to, it kind of snaps to the closest vertex, but you don't want to make kind of, very close. I mean, most likely I want it to start from the corner, so be careful where you put it. And now if we zoom in, you'll see that I made ugly things here because this is not something I want, right? This one. So I would want to get rid of it. So of course first instinct would be to delete it, and in newer Maya versions it works. In older versions it would not work, and you would have to merge it. So shift, and where is it? Oh, you could delete, merge, and then we have some merging options. Target weld, I like target weld very much. Click and drag. Right, so for now multicut tool is the one that we care about. Vertices and multicut, and I can start adding components in order to have more segments in order to do something more specific. So let's try, just think of some object around you, some simple object, I don't know, a mobile phone, a mouse, anything you have it close by, and let's try to model it starting from a box or other primitive.